Hey guys, Press Bill Comic Book University and Weapon H, issue number 1. I've been waiting for this for a while now, and it's finally here, so let's get started. Oh, real quick, what's that I see in the background there? Does that look like a Wendigo? That's actually exactly what it is. So, we see that the Hulkverine, Clay, he's off hanging out in Montana, and the people there are talking about the rumors of this Hulkverine down in Arizona, and that it started leaping north. And it might be among them now, and it's got a human shape, and who knows? So there's all these Spanish immigrants, I imagine, Spanish-speaking immigrants. I presume they're all Mexican, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. And they're all basically, this is going to be one of those things that, you know, those certain channels that always have the SJW in their titles because they can't make sales any other way. They can't get people to click on their videos any other way, right? So what happens here is all these guys, they're attacked at the end of the day's work. They got paid, and these good old boys, these white boys show up, and they're like, "Oh, give me your stuff, man. Give me your money. Yeah, we're gonna beat you up." Okay, whatever. Honestly, racists are racists, and I really just don't care. And these guys aren't fighters, but these punks are. Whatever. Doesn't impress me. I'm not worried about my race being dismissed in history. So anyway, the Clay is there, and he winds up. I don't know if he fully. Yeah, actually, he does. He does fully Hulk out, and he beats the holy heck out of these people. And then obviously he's got to leave. So he gets the heck out of Dodge, and he's up in Alaska at this point. So he tries to cut off his fingertips, but nope, doesn't work. They heal. They come right back. So the reason why he's trying to cut off his fingerprints is he's trying to. Actually, I just said it right there. He's trying to cut off his fingerprints very specifically. So anyway, that's not going to happen. He's always going to have his fingerprints because he heals. So everywhere he goes, there's just people. So he keeps on trying to move more and more places. And at this point, he's like 7 days later, 342 miles deeper into the wilderness. And all of a sudden, he just hears this helicopter landing, a dual-blade whirlybird. It's like, dude, are you freaking kidding me? Come on, what are the chances? Anyway, it's comic book. So these three knuckleheads from Roxxon show up, and they drop these guys off, and then they leave. The rest of the guys leave. So these three people are there, and there's this girl who's supposed to be doing some research, and some other guy who's supposed to be doing some research, and then some jerk who's basically like the leader of this team, and he's a total jerk. Well, as it turns out, he's actually a cyborg. And he made sure that Roxxon in general made sure that the food supplies were going to be gone. So they pooled their food together, so they could see, what's going on. They got like a couple little candy bars, whatever. And it's not going to last them. Well, fortunately, Hulkverine comes by and he leaves a deer. He kills a deer real quick and leaves it there. So they're like, oh, wow, we're going to be able to eat now. Kind of messes up Roxxon's plan. Now, I told you who was on the front cover, right? Yeah, so the reason why they're out there is to find this lost civilization. And they're in this area now, and the guy's like, oh man, we found the place. The evil cyborg dude. Nobody knows he's a cyborg yet. But anyway, he's like, oh wow, we should celebrate. Look, I've got some beef jerky. Like, we pulled our food. What's the matter with you? Dude, the second he hoarded beef jerky and he's offering it at this site, I know exactly what's going to happen, so do you. So he offers it, and just the one researcher dude goes and takes some, and it's like, oh yeah, it's human flesh. It's like, weren't you supposed to wait for the chick to take it also? Like, what's up with that? Anyway, so they've got a Wendigo. Now, because, you eat human flesh, you know the story of the Wendigo, right? So anyway, Wendigo forms, and it's a really weird-looking Wendigo. I'm okay with it. I know that Marvel's been drawing them this way lately, but I still remember the Wendigo from Incredible Hulk 180, 181, and it's like, and before that, obviously. And, no, man, I want to see that Wendigo, the big, strong one, not this skinny, freaky, emaciated-looking one. Anyway, so Clay turns into the Hulkverine, and he's going to go after this thing. Now, this pretty much ends on ends is an interesting word, but it ends because right over here, it turns out that somebody was watching Doctor Strange. Now, they're watching in Roxxon also, but Doctor Strange is also watching. He's like, oh, a Wendigo, aha! So, there's that mystical transformation thing. He sees it, he's going to go and try and fix it, but he's like, here's something much, much more dangerous. A Hulkverine, what is this? So that's the way it ends. But when it ends, look at how much left there is. Huh, is these all advertisements? No, there's an extra story in here about his wife. And it's all going to relate. It's all going to tie in. Okay, I would have just given you the whole book. Jeez. So the end of that particular part of the story shows that there's a reason why they're trying to capture a Wendigo. And there's a really crappy way of trying to capture the Wendigo. It's like, for crying out loud. Like, put them over here and just, okay, put them in a cage in this area and be like, okay, you're going to stay here. And then, come back a day later and be like, oh, you guys hungry? Here, here's a little bit of food. Drop the human flesh jerky there and then leave and come back again. And then they're, of course, going to eat it. You know what I'm saying? Done. So, what do you call it? Anyway, and there were all sorts of signs that this guy was a cyborg in the first place, and just the Hulkverine winds up exposing him. But there's all sorts of different ways they could have done this. Whatever, I don't care. They were just trying to get through the story. That was enough for me. So this is the route they choose to take. It was a little bit easier. Okay, no problem. The story is fantastic. I'm giving this comic book an A. This was really good. All right, for all intents and purposes, you got 2 stories in this book. 2 stories. And they relate to each other. So it's like looking at the same thing, but from different houses. And I'm digging that. I'm really digging that. So these are all going to wind up coming back together. He's going to have to be reunited with his family at some point. And I think that's going to be pretty interesting, especially since he's missing a portion of his brain, the memory section. I'm going to be honest. I think this is a really good comic. I think that this is going to be a really good comic title. The Weapon X story was, as far as I'm concerned, and I don't know this for certain, I'm just guesstimating, I'm guessing, that it was only made for the sake of creating this character. The first 2 story arcs and crossing over with the Totally Awesome Hulk, having the Weapons of Mass Destruction one-shot, all of that seemed like it was geared just towards this. And everybody figured that the Weapon X comic was going to wind up ending after this arc was finished. And they kept it going. Greg Pak kept it going, same guy who's writing this one. But it wasn't that good, the next arc. And then it took another arc for it to start getting better again. It's like he had to just throw something together. You want the title? Sure, I'll keep on getting paid. Let me just throw something together really quick. And then he got his story back up again. All that work and all that effort just to get this comic out, I have no doubt that that's the reason why this is good. So I know a lot of people who are probably going to be all like, no, it's not going to be good, but there was a lot of effort put into making this good, and it shows. As far as I'm concerned, it shows. Good effort. All right, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.